So we are on Volskaya Foundry for game number one. A fun map. We mentioned whether Cho'Gall might make it. I don't know about that, but we have seen Mephisto before, and that could be another hero that gets played here because he does have a lot of great zoning potential. Yes, he technically is very recognizable in where he's going to be showing up, but man, if you could just put that damage to the backline, it shouldn't matter.
Absolutely. I want to quickly note as well for anyone at home wondering, hey, wait a minute, why is there only one ban? I do not have a symbol for Garden of Terror, unfortunately, but that was banned out by Last Minute Sweep, if I'm not mistaken. I might have misread that, but either way, we're going to get back into our draft. We do have a ban onto your Rel immediately in this, and that will be a Sylvanas ban. Nobody, I think Sylvanas got through one game yesterday for me. I don't know about, did you see any Sylvanas play, or was she just banned out almost every single game?
I think she got picked once and won very handily, and they said that they had enough of that.
I'm sorry,
So,
I have to interrupt you. You have to show Cat. Chat wants Cat.
Cat literally jumped up on my lap. Cat.
There you go. I mean, if there's an animal on stream, if there's a possibility for an animal on stream, you got our fourth caster today. I don't know their name. Unfortunately, I'm very sorry.
This is Binks.
Binks, our fourth caster. Welcome. I do not have a fourth panel, unfortunately. As Binks looks a little confused as the draft is going to be seeing a Cho ban and the members of Perfect Gems saying, no. Volskaya Foundry, we get it. It's a Cho'Gall map. We're not letting that happen.
Yeah, they were listening to chat and said, oh yeah, that's an option. I forgot. No, we'll get rid of that one. But that does leave Ana. Yep, I think Ana is still a high priority for a lot of these teams, and we'll see it picked up first, which again could be maybe even a steal. I'm not sure. If they don't want to have an nano boosted Kel'Thas.
Ooh, and we are going to be seeing an ETC with a Greymane picked up right there. Sorry, I'm fiddling with your green screen a little bit because the light was making part of your forehead disappear, and I was like, maybe I can fiddle with this, but no, I'm pulling you in and out. Either way, we'll leave it the way it is we are going to be having an ETC Greymane on the right. We have a main tank Uthers. We were talking about how it's not that popular anymore, but they were watching stream and they're like, Bahamut, Graysville, you don't know anything about main tank Uthers, so we're going to show you how good this can be, but they're also going to grab that Li Ming. I actually wonder if Last Minute Sweep might go for a Kerrigan. Kerrigan is very, very, very popular with the main tank Uther with the Ana as well, because there's such good chase and such good dive and blow up that you can potentially bring to the table with her, as a Zeratul was banned out by the members of Perfect Gems.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with the flyest Zeratul. But I did like the Greymane ETC early. I think that just shows how aggressive that they're willing to be on the side of Perfect Gems. But the response of Uther is already good, because that basically says, all right, come at me. Here are my stuns. What are you going to do about it? Like, the fact that Uther is going to be in the front line is going to be protecting the team and also being their main engage. And they'll definitely have the follow-up with the Li Ming and Ana. And on the opposite side, though, keep seeing the Stukov, and he makes his way here with the Malthael once again.
A lot of Stukov play, but overall, I can't, especially with an ETC, that works out really well. The double dive with Malthael and Greymane is going to work out well for them. Right now, Ana, Li Ming, Uther. I still like the Kerrigan, and then for solo lane, maybe into a Malthael. Maybe you consider some range. Like, it doesn't get picked up that often, but like Phoenix was considered a good pickup as well, because range into melee is always difficult for said melee player, but Malthael can close that distance. They're actually going to grab a Thrall and a Sonya. Okay, so no Kerrigan here. I like the Sonya a ton, and the Thrall's actually able to step up and still be bruisery, some self-heals. So here's the thing, there's a lot of good sustain overall from Last Minute Sweep. I mean, Li Ming can talent into talents that will give her health back when she gets kills. There's Thrall, who has their own self-sustain with the Frostwolf Resilience. Sonya can spin to win. Uther's got self-heals. Ana can drop a Bite Grenade on herself, and Uther can maybe help out a little bit there. So the members of Last Minute Sweep have a strong draft, but a Kel'Thas to round things out for Perfect Gems. And you and I talked about how strong ZPX has been all day yesterday on that Kel'Thas. We'll see if the Pyroblast will work out for them, but overall, a strong draft from either sides. But as I always like to ask you, names aside, purely just looking at the drafts on the map, who you thinking?
I am liking Red Team a little bit better just because it's more of a traditional draft. You know, Perfect Gems, without the names, I think this draft is really good, but with them, I'm liking it. They have the aggression with ETC Kel'Thas. Legacy has been playing out of his mind on Stukov lately. And on the other side, yes, they have a lot of sustain. Yes, they can get kills, but I'm just afraid that they're going to get blown up before that even happens.
That's actually a really good point as well. Like, the blow-up potential coming out from Perfect Gems is terrifying. But self-sustain on the side of last minute sweep is pretty strong. It's like the easiest. I mean, any sort of caster, just the easiest way to kind of get out of this is, it's going to come down to the burden of execution. But that is also always going to be part of this. If we just expect them to execute at the highest level of play or whatever that would be, I still also lean into Perfect Gems. I think overall their draft is a little bit more threatening. I think they can if they get momentum, it's going to be really, really hard to stop them. But we're here, Graysville. Let's go ahead and get on into game number 1 on the left-hand side. We got last minute sweep. Fats is going to be on the Thrall. Destructible is going to be on the Ana. Flyest Raven on that Sonya. Nintori will be on the Uther, and Carbon on the Li Ming.
And on the right-hand side, we have Perfect Gems. Uther, played by Nintori, or excuse me, yes, excuse me, Uther, Nintori. Li Ming, played by Carbon. Flyest Raven on Sonya. Destructible playing Ana, and Fats playing Thrall.
All right, let's get on into mid lane and check out. Ooh, Crash Lightning, hello?
That's a talent.
That's a talent. Here's the thing. On this map, it actually makes sense to me, especially because of the way their draft is. Because they're going to be 4v4 constantly. They're going to be rotating between mid to bottom with that Thrall, and then Sonya's going to be in the solo lane. So they're expecting to be able to poke out consistently between the rotations, and if there's no minions in the rotations, which there obviously shouldn't be, or if something's going weird and here's the storm, you should be able to get those bounces to enemy heroes consistently. But they're going to throw one out right there, and wow, they're sidewalling with Carbon already as they actually get a stun on top of the magic missiles from them. And this is, if they can get resets for Carbon, that's going to be huge for them. I just want to peek into the bottom lane really quickly. It looks like Flyest Raven's going to be playing this lane a little slow. That allows Malthael to rotate up and say, cool, you guys are doing whatever. They also did go into, I'm blanking on the name, Fear the Reaper. So works very much like Dahaka with the with the Dark Swarm, where you can move through enemy members, but you also have a speed increase when activating that right there. As Thrall's going to activate the Windhammer, going to get a lot of value right there, but it's just rotations, a little bit of poke damage here and there, and looking for those questing talents. Uther is Silver Touch, and we do have the Mana Addict for Kael'thas, as well as the Proc Rod for the ETC.
So the double globes means they're going to be rotated together and get those stacked up as early as they can. But I do like these moves from the teams, grabbing those camps as they spawn at 1 minute. Interesting to see whether they will think about that support camp in the top side of the map or not. And yeah, we got the Pleb mount coming out from Legacy here.
Sonya in bottom lane. I want to note, KPB in chat literally just said, Perfect Gems needs to win so CPX can afford a shirt, and I had to mute myself for a second because I was giggling at that way too hard. I wasn't expecting to read that. 4's up on both sides, and we are going to be having our first objective announced in the next 40 seconds, and it'll be up at the 3-minute mark in the game. Sonya did go tough as nails at level 1, so she's looking to just get rid of some of that auto attack damage from the Malthael, as well as maybe the Greymane diving on top of them. 0 stacks on that Crash Lightning for the Thrall, and it's starting to live up to a different name a little bit here.
Yeah, I still don't like the talent ever. I feel like you have to basically get it completed, otherwise you get no value. Whereas every other talent on that tier I think is good. But yes, you get some value on this map, but really you should not be around the objective that long to get that much value. Sleep Dart on to ETC, but unaverted under pressure. Great heals once again from Legacy as Flyest is going to jump into the backline on Sonya. There's going to be the support camp picked up and used immediately, along with the turrets. Items getting picked up, items getting used.
I want to say Unaverted played that really, really well. They were getting low and they weren't sure if they were going to live, so they dropped the fortification camp. Both teams actually dropping both of their turrets down, so neither of them have any items for this objective, but both of them did grab them fairly early, so it's going to be about 50 to 40 seconds on both of those for them to be up and available. As no one gets channel immediately, they're diving onto this Uther and they find the swipe. That will be first blood, but a power slide onto Ana. Destructible trying to get back behind the gate, and that will be a disengage from them, but first blood over to the side of Perfect Gems.
Great job from them so far in this game, and I do see as well, looking at talents, Ana going for a full grenade build. I almost kind of wanted the Sleep Dart build as she just lands one there, but she's going to hit with a power slide on the top side here. I don't know whether Ana can get away from this, actually pathing back down, lurking arm, and does the dot kill Destructible? Looks like Ana survives barely.
90-something health onto them as they are going to be able to get the Hearth out. 7 talents here will be up and in favor for the members of Last Minute Sweep, but Fats gonna poke out here and there, getting some stacks on that Crash Lightning, working their way through. I believe it's 25 stacks, 30 still, excuse me. Because was that actually changed? Didn't it used to be like 40 or something like that?
It was, yeah,
Yeah.
and they brought it down to 30.
They're like, all right, we want people to take this, and we realized 40 stacks is a little difficult, but 30s, we're getting there. We're getting there. Either way, this is going to be 7s up on both sides. We do have Channel in favor currently for the members of Last Minute Sweep, but Perfect Gems looking to step up over here on the right-hand side with 60% under their belt. D-Rex is looking to just try and jump onto this point. But Nentori and friends, they're going to be holding it down. Let's see if they're able to jump over as I'm going to cycle through some of the other numbers right now. Stepping off the point, poking out a little bit further.
Yeah, they're on even talents. Flyest Racing, he doesn't need to be careful here. He has a turret available. Can't afford to lose it. Obviously, he wants to drop it for it, but it looks like the damage onto the Uther, and he just gets lit up there. Flyest is trying to survive using that whirlwind. Does look like they're going to try to back away for now, as that was some big damage from Carbon there on Li Ming. The overtime has been achieved. Power Slide goes out, and that will be Thrall going down, but that is the burst that I'm talking about.
That is, like, CPX on this Kael'thas has been, like, yesterday, the blow up and the CC and the burst was so strong for them. Really good power slide and face melt. Destructible able to get behind the gate. They threw out that lurking arm, trying to maybe step further forward. Gravity Lapse thrown out, not going to be able to connect onto anyone. But now, Channel was 99%, goes over to the side of Perfect Gems. Last minute sweep looking to get their feet onto this point. ETC with the face melt to push them back. This will be contested, meaning it's going to be overtime. And that bar, it's going to be sitting there as long as there's going to be a blue member on this point. But now Valimar very low is going to try and get away. They're going to try and get the soul suck and not going to be able to. Oh, actually, no, they lived through that one right there. I thought they were going to die to the damage over time, and Flyest Raven actually needs to back off as well. Some healing darts coming out, but Graysville, this fight's not over yet.
Yeah, CPX using the fountain. He's got to get back onto the point, but no, he cannot, and that's going to be a 1-for-1 count and a 2-for-1. They're going to keep getting these kills with the reset from Lena Pyroblast. You know, that's one way to punish them. Yeah, you may have killed my opponents, but you're dead too. Oh, great spear there from Flyest. That could be a kill as well. The dot, I believe, is enough. Greymane falls.
And great back and forth. The members of Last Minute Sweep, though, find themselves a couple necessary kills. They really needed to bring that back with some experience right there, because it was starting to get a little rocky there. I think it was like 4-0 in kills in favor for Perfect Gems, and they were just starting to put pressure onto the enemy team. But being able to steal this away and also get the top lane well removed, that is going to help them out so much more for control point B. They're going to lose this Triglav Protector soon. Only 20% left on it, and also like 24 seconds, but they get a lot of value. I mean, what, the mid lane front gate completely, half of the gate and top, but the big thing is that well in top lane.
Thrall sitting at 11 stacks out of 30, so right around level 30, he should be getting his quest completed.
I looked at chat, and they're just counting the stacks for Thrall. Oh god. All right, yeah, it's Triglav Protector over, but I think you had a point that you were trying to get at.
But, I mean, even that said, it will eventually get there. Obviously, the more objectives, the more opportunities they have to get. But otherwise, in terms of other talents, CPX is done with his globes. ETC is on the way. But that's more important for the Kael'thas being able to get that shield when there is a dive, and all of the mana available means I think that the scaling is probably still a little bit better on the side of Perfect Gems.
I agree. The Kael'thas, the Arcane Barrier is a huge thing, and then also not to forget, we also do have the lacerates on the Malthael being reduced by, I believe, 5 seconds for every kill. Pyroblast coming onto Flyest Raven. They're just trying to throw as much damage as possible as they turn into it once they get a healing dart from the Ana. I was trying to show how much health it was taken away, and it did significant amount. I think it's 1,300 something. No, 1,455 at this time is the initial blast, and the splash damage to anyone in the circle is 728. That's a significant amount of damage coming out from them, as we have 12 stacks on that Crash Lightning, nearing the halfway mark on that talent. But Wrath of Berserker was popped here. That's going to be a Gravity Lapse onto Ana in the back lane. That's a Lurking Arm coming out from Legacy as well. Divine Shield thrown onto Uther themselves. Flailing Sweat coming out. There's going to be an Earthquake from the Thrall. D-Rex is trying to get out there. The Wave of Force pushing them into it. CPX goes down as well. Carbon popping off here, kill after kill, as they find a Stukov on the right-hand side. Another Wave of Force trying to get the stomp onto Valimar. Don't get the kill there, but a 3 for none. 13 talent here and a Biotic Emitter in favor for the members of Last Minute Sweep.
Really nice job. They had the nano boost on the Li Ming, but that was a lot of patience from Carbon. He started off just sitting in the bush. The team fight started and he didn't show his positioning until someone had gotten stunned, and then he immediately started pushing all the buttons and people started dying. Really great job there from Last Minute Sweep.
I gotta say, Carbon just executing the best keyboard face roll I've seen in this tournament on a mage player. Like, I'll be honest, like I haven't seen a Li Ming pop off like that, and that was really, really well played from them. And as you said, just good hold coming out from them, making sure they don't step too far forward too soon. And now blinking away, getting away from the enemy team. CPX throwing out a Gravity Lapse combo right there, as Sonya's gonna get free push in bottom lane and get themselves a free well, which once again, we talk about the lane sustain and the opportunities and the value from that. They're already prepping for control point C, because control point B rarely, and I don't know about you, Graysville, I rarely see control point B ends, like maybe once in a blue moon, but control point C typically is what ends games. And speaking of the points, they're up and available in the next 27 seconds.
Yeah, and in fact, usually the person who wins this second control point goes bottom lane with the Triglav to prep for that one. And we will see both of these teams start to take control of the map. The camps picked up in the top lane, and Perfect Gems will rotate on out as they do see last minute sweep here. You need to be careful. Anytime an ETC is on the map sitting in a bush, you know he's looking for a target and calling it.
They're waiting for that one right there. Apparently Thrall is living on a prayer as they're halfway through their stacks right there. We do have 15 to 14 in level, so a solid level lead. Gravity Lapse, that's a lot of burst. They get the Divine Shield out in time. I was about to say they're about to lose a Biotic Emitter, and they actually, they burn Divine Shield, but that's about it. They don't use anything else. Rather Berserker comes out, that's gonna be unaverted, getting chased right there. Flailing Swipe coming out from the Stukov as well. Earthquake was popped by the Thrall. There's also gonna be a really good root coming out from that Feral Spirit. Carbon gets the Nano Boost, chasing on in, blinks forward. They blow up the ETC, throwing out another combo, not able to find anything right there. Destructible gets hit with the Pyroblast from Kel'Thas, who's gonna get the global voice line, and everyone hears, and it looks like Valimar and friends are gonna look for a bit of a flank, get a little bit of a heal right there. Fly Straven gets marked with the last rites, doesn't go down. Camp is pushing in through top lane, but channel in favor for the members of Last Minute Sweep.
Another call out for Nintori. Anytime the target has a living bomb, or excuse me, a Pyroblast on them, he's been doing a really good job of putting a heal. 25 armor is a lot. Being able to reduce that damage by a quarter when you're looking at a large amount of damage has been keeping members alive.
Oh yeah, no, it's been significant. The last time we checked, it was somewhere in the 1,500 range, so it's probably scaled up into the 1,700s area, maybe a little bit further. So yeah, 25% of that. Ooh, yeah, that's a good spot to be in. We do also have Thunderstorm for the Thrall, which actually, because of Crash Lightning, it will be easier to finish that up. And Nintori being dove on, this is going to be a fight over the Biotic Emitters. This is Legacy throwing out a healing. Flailing Swipe coming out. Mosh Pit will be interrupted by the wave of force from Li Ming, as that is the Uther going down. They do have Ghost heals for a couple seconds. There is going to be Valimar grabbing the Biotic Emitter as they end up getting picked off. They drop it just before giving it over to the enemy side, as this Sonya is in the backline disrupting things. That's a wave of force coming out from the Li Ming. Unaverted trying to make their way out. They roll. No eyes in the dark, I don't believe, and they go down right there. Power Slide from D-Rex is going to be trying to capitalize on this right there. No, they actually do have eyes in the dark, but still, a 1-for-4 trade. You take that on the side of Last Minute Sweep and grab yourselves a second Triglav Protector.
Yeah, really nice job again there from Carbon. Unaverted was trying to do his best to disrupt the backline, getting both the Ana and the Li Ming zoned off, but while that was happening, Sony was on the opposite backline doing even more damage. And then the Nano Boost comes out, Carbon cleans up, and this will be the Triglav going over to Last Minute Sweep.
So you were talking about control point B going into bottom lane. I've seen it played 3 different ways, and I was wondering which is going to be. So it's either you take top lane fort, rotate to mid, go from mid lane fort, then go to bottom and use the whatever's left onto that bottom. Or you rush through top lane after a good team fight and try and get a keep, so that way you have constant catapult pressure through that lane, or you just rush straight to bottom. So right now we're seeing that first one where it's just they're getting max value from this because the enemy team is a little split, trying to manage their lanes, also trying to pull back the advantage that is going to be coming out in favor for the members of Last Minute Sweep. But Perfect Gems kind of trying to find their footing here in game number 1 in our second best of 5 of the day.
Well, the way that these lanes are pushed out, things are not looking great for Perfect Gems, but they do have opportunities to get back in here. Legacy's going to have to Flailing Swipe away from this engagement. Triglav still has another 30 seconds on it, which just means they can really prep for control point C, as if they get these towers, that will help later on. And if they get the fountain, there'll be no fountains in the bottom lane and only the 2 in the top and middle.
Yep.
It looks like they are willing to back away now. They know that the Triglav will expire soon, and they do not want to get caught too far out.
Yeah, but now they're trying to pull the enemy team a little further out. That's going to be the Earthquake from the Thrall. The Trickle Protector is not actually down. There's a Pyroblast going onto Carbon. That won't get the kill. Mosh Pit connecting onto so many members right there. They actually get the Flame Strike onto Flyest Raven, and they do have the bomb onto them, but they really don't care. They've got that Wrath of Berserker up, I think. I can't tell in that skin if the blades are glowing, but either way, Spear forward. They're chasing on a ZPX, and they are looking for a kills. They pop the Arcade Barrier, excuse me. Flyest Raven still pushing up right there, and someone in chat was saying that isn't Pyro's spell. Uther gives physical and spell armor. We can actually see right here. I was showing for a second right there. There you go. You can see it right there. It's going to be showing physical and spell armor. So that's, if anyone was wondering why, we're talking about 25 from the Pyroblast. But right now, we were saying that control point Bs don't typically end the game, and here we are. Caster Curse kicking in. Flyest Raven does go down, tries to ignore the pain. Doesn't work out too well for them. And this is actually, oh my god, the core being cleared up as they find a full team wipe. Stukov just
pure power.
Stukov gonna be coming back to that as they get one spin, and that is gonna be game number 1 over to the side of Last Minute Sweep. GG, well played. God, Graysville, what a good game. Nice 20, yeah. Carbon.
I love that Archon pure power pick at the end there. What a fun one though. Things were pretty even, and post 10, Last Minute Sweep played very excellently. Things kind of spiraled out of control at the end. And man, that really sets the tone though, doesn't it? We talked about whether the momentum from the previous series may have had an impact, and Last Minute Sweep says, no, we bring these back. We bring these back.
They, you know, there's a half an hour they had to sit there and relax. You know what? Maybe we might have been the cause of this loss for Perfect Gems. I'll be honest here, Graysville. We played that win for them last night, and they came into the series with, the that win under their belt from last night. So maybe they were watching that. They were like, yeah, we're going to body them. And then Last Minute Sweep was just like, all right, cool. We're going to watch everything that we saw from last night and then just win off of that. So maybe it's our fault. Either way. I mean, it's not like they couldn't have just gone to your stream and seen it, the VOD or anything like that. But still, a really great game, number 1. Good back and forth. But we're in that spot where, you lose the first game in a best-of-5 series. What's your game plan? Is it first pick, which is seemingly everyone's, everyone who loses a game just says first pick, force the enemy team for the map pick, or do you actually try and map pick here and maybe determine things, as we actually already have a lobby?
Well, I mean, I normally always say if you are the loser, you should go for map pick and try to find something that you're more comfortable on, because especially when you think about momentum, why not? Why not try something that you are more comfortable with? We just saw this map on Volskaya, very team fight heavy. And I question whether or not Perfect Gems, if Last Minute Sweep can survive and actually get kills. And they definitely proved me wrong. Carbon on the Li Ming definitely was able to bring things through. So if I have Perfect Gems, maybe you go to something more macro heavy instead. But it looks like we do have a lobby up, and Last Minute Sweep actually had the map choice.
So it is going to be one of those kind of situations. So we'll tease it for you. It's going to be a nice map. Another map where Cho'Gall can be picked up. Technically, I mean, I've seen it in the past, but let me do caster things and actually update the team scores, and I need to get the little map editor updated as well. But I don't know, I'm trying to think back. Do you just get rid of maybe the Li Ming here, try and steal that away? I feel like Carbon on Li Ming was insanely strong, and that really drove the momentum for the friendly team, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I think honestly, still a lot of it was coming down to execution. Perfect Gems had the team comp to win it. I think they just did not secure the kills like maybe they expected to. Some of it could have just come down to individual calling, because Carbon was able to get free reign and Unaverted was in their backline, but they really should have responded to the Sonya, I feel like. So maybe it just comes down to cleaning things up and being a little more communicative.
Surely your first ban is the Crash Lightning, no? You know what? We didn't talk about that. Crash Lightning was really, really strong right there. No, I do think, I think chat was saying, 26 out of 30 stacks? So they were close. They were close. That was a very, very quick game, number 1, though. That's a very, very quick, Volskaya Foundry map. We don't like, as I said, like, I rarely get to see Trigla Protector Bees ending the game, and I double cast or curse myself that because I was talking about how I was like, I don't know, Uth, main tank Uther's fallen off a bit, and they come in here and they're just like, Bahamut, shut up, this is how it works, and it's like, okay, all right, you apparently know, but, well, they're the ones who are actually playing in all of this, so we got readies, we got our, everything's ready to go. I'm just double checking everything myself that we're good. We are, and so we can go ahead and get on into our game here. Once they push the button, I think they have, there we go, let's go ahead and push the button.
So the button has been pushed. So the next game, it will be on Towers of Doom. So we saw this obviously earlier, and I love Towers of Doom. There's a lot of playmaking abilities, and I would never count a team out on Towers of Doom. There's a lot of comeback mechanics on this map.
Yeah, and we were actually showcasing that in game number 1 of our first best of 5 today, where literally it was 11-21 at one point, and Celeb Gaming turned it around. It came down to a final boss, which I always say, like Cat Peach and I always say this, and I'm sure you're on the same boat as me. In a best of 3, best of 5, best of 7, Towers of Doom is that final game, or realistically in the series, but final game Towers of Doom are always so intense because there's so many opportunities for teams to just run it back. Like, you can get like 4-26 in core health, and that team with 4 core health could end up still bringing it back, and it ends up being a boss play once again, because it just becomes that point where like they're like somehow, some way they just find this third wind and they're able to just to keep bringing it back. But for anyone that is wondering, if you were looking at the map bans and stuff like that, you're wondering why there's only one map ban onto Dragonshire. It's because Last Minute Sweep did ban out Garden of Terror. I just don't have a symbol for it, so just so you're all up to date on that. So Garden of Terror and Dragonshire are banned out. We have a Li Ming ban. That's what we were discussing beforehand. There's another Cho ban as well. A Samuro to be gotten rid of, as they are very powerful, and that will be an Sylvanas ban as well. But they're starting out with the Ana here. Do you think we get the Nano Pyroblast, or do you think they ban it out? Ooh, wow. Oh, that's exciting.
I mean, that's confidence too, right there.
Yes.
They're basically saying, you pick what you want, we'll pick what we want, and we can win.
I personally think you ban out the Kael'thas, like, just so you don't have to deal with the Nano Pyroblast, because it's 30% spell power, if I'm not mistaken, from Nano Boost, so you're increasing the Pyroblast by 30%. Deathwing and ETC, that's a very early Deathwing as well. But they're going to grab that ETC, and the disruption from them was really good in game 1. I mean, you've talked about how much you love Deathwing, ETC, and I'm sure you're happy about this one. But ban-wise, I lean into a Kael'thas. What about you?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, they're not gonna use the full timer, which I thought they would. But either way, what are you thinking on the side of Perfect Gems though, ban-wise?
I think you get rid of the Stukov. You already have your healer. We know what the second most popular hero in terms of healers is. Obviously, there's a lot more out there. Unless you want to get rid of someone like the Johanna, another tank that may be able to dissuade your opponents. But that is going to be the Greymane. That is probably pretty smart too. If they're looking to dive an opponent, Greymane can come along for the ride.
I'd actually, you know what I'd consider here is a Jaina. Jaina actually gets, if you clone Jaina, she gets the trait value as well, so that you can increase the damage from that Frostbite. So double Jaina coming out, and also the clone can mark the target, and then the real one, if you will be able to get the full burst. She's not actually getting the initial mark. But Lucio, the Boostio, the first one, Tychus to be grabbed as well. Actually, you know what? Tychus makes a lot more sense, because if you go Adrenal Overload at level 4 on Abathur, then you hat Tychus, and you're going into a Deathwing, you're speeding up that attack speed by, I believe, 25%. Also, for anyone that doesn't know, Abathur did get a buff a little bit back. The Locusts were buffed to 50% structure damage, and then they were nerfed down to, I believe, 25, so they are still buffed up a little bit. So we'll see if those Locusts are able to push out the top lane. Though the last 2 picks, though, coming out, I'd say they're going to need a mage. Okay, all right. I mean, we actually have seen yesterday, CPX did play a really strong Chromion Volskaya Foundry in a matchup, so not too surprised by this one.
Yeah, it's kind of nice into the Zeratul as well, because then you'll have the time traps available to save yourself. Interesting in the hammer pickup, that means they'll be able to have a lot of siege ability along with the Chromie. A lot of this will come down to Flyest Raven and whether he can get any harassment in the backline, or if it's going to be just completely negated by the fact that they're going to be outpushed. That will be the last pick. Blaze, though, on the side of Last Minute Sweep.
Okay, Blaze for main tank?
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. I was like, are they going to be in the solo? Someone's going to have to rotate up there, here, and there. It might be Zeratul, who's maybe doing some double rotations or something. We'll have to see. I'm excited about this draft overall. Sergeant Hammer, something that, we didn't hit on too much here. A very, very strong hero on Towers of Doom. We were watching that Regen versus Perfect Gems game just before this best of 3, and, Regen pulled out that Sergeant Hammer, was sieging through bottom lane so effectively. Overall impressions, I kind of lean a little bit into Last Minute Sweep. I know their draft is a little wonky, but I think they've got a lot of good tools, and their late game scaling is going to be really impactful. And if Abathur is able to get free push in some situations, this is going to work out well for them. But the big thing to consider here is, as I'm saying this, Deathwing Skyfall level 7, will it kill Abathur? Because when Phoenix came out, the joke was you take Tyrande and Phoenix, you use Tyrande to scout out where the Abathur is, and then you wait for Abathur to go into a hat moment, and then you Planet Cracker on Abathur, because they can't unhat and move out of the Planet Cracker in time before it kills them. So we'll see what happens here, but I'm excited about this game. Number 2, on the left-hand side, we got Last Minute Sweep. We got Carbon on the Tychus, we've got Flystraven on the Zeratul, Fats on that Abathur, Destructible will be on the Lucio, and Nintori on the Blaze.
The battle begins.
And on the right-hand side, we got Perfect Gems. CPX playing that Chromie Valimar on the Deathwing. We also have Unaverted on Hammer, Legacy playing the Ana, and B-Rex playing ETC.
And they're going into bottom lane. It looks like they might try and set up for a little pressure down there. I want to quickly we're going to focus on the vision for our blue team just to see if they're going to be able to see this rotation down here. As Destructible, I was going to say Indestructible. Destructible comes down here immediately with the Abathur hat poking at them. We actually have, I can't remember off the top of my head, Ambush coming out from the Sergeant Hammer at level 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And later on, you can get some hover siege mode.
Yep.
You can move on forward, get some burst damage by going in and out of that, which is one of the reasons people like to go for that ambush. Just not for the stealth, but just for that extra burst damage.
Oh, Zergy's actually making a good point in chat. You need vision the whole time, and too slow, not enough damage to kill Abathur. Okay, all right. So Skyfall will not kill. I wonder, though, they could be super, if they open up the map a little bit, like if they take out some of these front gates and they can actually like maybe just death drop onto Abathur. I mean, obviously the whole thing is you do have to have vision to drop down somewhere. You can't just blindly drop across the map. But if there's somehow some way they can get vision and see where Abathur is and just get a drop onto them, that'd be comical, that's all. Just a bug getting squished by a giant dragon. Anyways, we are going to be just seeing some wave clear, some rotations coming out. It's a pretty standard beginning on Towers of Doom here. We have our first objective popping up at the 3-minute mark in the game. It'll be announced at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Right now it's just grabbing some sapper camps and prepping out the lanes, maybe trying to open up bottom lane, as it is the most cherished lane on this map, being able to throw in double sapper camps and being able to control the rotations from the enemy team around 2 specific bell tower phases.
So one thing I'm going to question is what kind of build we're looking at on the Zeratul. He did go for the Shadow Hunter at level 1. I mean, he's not going into full cleave.
Yep.
Do we actually see a Void Prison, or is it going to be Might of the Nerazim trying to just blow someone up? Because I say a lot of this game is going to come down to Flyest and then Abathur hat, and honestly, if they can get those kills, this would be a very easy game for Last Minute Sweep.
Chromie has a level 1 that reveals the area. Oh, that's true. It's collecting regeneration globes, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then once you collect them, you get spell power? But either way, once here and there again, again, the first time, whatever the name of the talent is that they currently took, that's a lot better because you get an extra echo and you have more poke potential, more burst potential as well. And this is also going to be the chronic condition, so they are going to be having that slow for enemy members who are time stopped, and then you're actually having the 30% speed increase for friendly members that are time stopped. So if you're able to maybe actually stop one of your friendly members, giving them a speed boost to be able to get away from the enemy team at a mount speed without having to mount is pretty powerful. Jet propulsion on to Unaverted, but it looks like This doesn't, Unaverted, you're in a bit of a rough spot. They stayed way too long, as that will be first blood over to the side of Last Minute Sweep, and Legacy getting very low here, Graysville.
Yeah, Flyest also rotates down, which means they can pick up that second kill. Triple altar spawning now. So another thing is, Abathur can't really go and get the objective ever, which is sometimes you see that on. He's gonna sleep here in the middle. Yeah, it'd be funny if a dragon happened to appear. We do see Flyest channel through, and level 7's approaching shortly for the teams, but it is a slight lead for Last Minute Sweep.
Yes, the name of the talent I'm being updated is Time Walker's Pursuit. Yes. So I'd forgotten. I honestly forgot about that, mostly because everyone takes once again the first time. I mean, having an extra echo, that's, well, it's an extra sandblast. You're dealing extra damage to the enemy team, and that's exactly what you want. Really good knockback coming out from Unaverted to make sure that they don't get that dive from Blaze in connection with the stun. But Zeratul diving in, there's a whole lot of damage. They're slowing them down, and we have CPX coming in here, Graceville.
Yeah, it looks like Sergeant Hammer will be falling. Oh, great sleep dart there. They do get the kill onto Zera, but this is what I'm talking about in terms of how Zeratul is going to be working in these team fights. I really do expect them just to go Might of the Nerazim and not go for the Void Prison. If they can just get onto this hammer every time, I really feel like these team fights will go more towards last-minute sweep.
We'll have to see what happens here, as we do have a single altar phase in the bottom lane. So this is going to be a full, well, 4v5, because Abathur does not have the clone just yet. Deathwing currently clearing out top lane with a big old Molten Breath, and both camps almost simultaneously grab for bottom lane. A little bit more of an experience advantage for the members of Last Minute Sweep, but as we said, going to be a single altar in bottom lane, and this could be a big old fight that they want on the side of Perfect Gems, while Abathur doesn't have that clone up and available.
The single altar, Abba's gonna stay top. Hammer's rotating down through the middle, but I think Flyest actually sees him there, and yeah, Hammer's taking harassment up there, but position-wise, if Hammer can get sieged up out of range, they really don't have a way to get in here. The level 8 loop, though, actually does surprise me. I kind of was expecting the slowing sand. And Tori comes in here for a lot of damage. Destructible started the channel, and Bahamut can Perfect Gems defend.
They're delaying it out with that Skyfall from the Deathwing. Destructible was interrupted twice right there. That's going to be Chromie throwing in some damage, as well as a Biotic Grenade coming out from Legacy. We do have a little bit of damage coming out here and there. There's going to be the Temporal Loop onto Destructible, who gets pushed back with the Face Melt from ETC, and that will be a kill over this objective phase going over to the side of Perfect Gems. They are going to be dealing 4 shots of core damage, evening out this game to 32 in core health.
Really nice job there. And I mean, there you see that is the power of that loop, though. Especially if you get that target onto the Lucio, who only has his escape is his sound barrier, which now will be online. And what do you know? No Void Prison. I called it. It is going to be the Might of the Nerazim, so he's going to try to burst someone down here. And Legacy, you have to be careful. There's going to be a clone from the Zeratul, Ana, going down.
That's the clone right there going down, and so just the single kill is enough for them. I mean, they take advantage of it immediately. I mean, why not? You have a slight advantage over the enemy team. See if you're able to knock them down while they don't have their 10 talent tier. And I think they were maybe saying like, oh, maybe we'll get this during the team fight. Unfortunately, not the case. We are going to be seeing this Zeratul rotating around, and as you called it, Might of the Nerazim. But I want to talk about Bunker from Blaze. They have no way to cleanse Temporal Loop. That's why you're seeing that being grabbed, obviously. But Blaze can jump inside that bunker, which is a bit of a cleanse itself. Or you have that break it down from the Lucio as well, so you can kind of buff yourself out. So we'll see what happens. I actually don't know. Can you summon Commandeer Odin? And will that interrupt it? Because don't you become...
You become unstoppable.
Yeah, you become unstoppable, so you could actually hold that unstoppable for when you get hit with that, and then if you time it out right, you, well, won't be getting pulled to that point. Either way, Altar is going to be spawning another single one, 32 up on both sides, 11 up as well, 4-2 in kills, and Heroics are pretty much all in line, except for a couple.
The real counter is to time the high five correctly instead of going for the sound barrier, right? High five, let's go. Single altar, though, as you said, these sappers are up, so they'll start them. And I'm actually kind of surprised they're not trying to get set up a little sooner on the side of Perfect Gems, because they'll have the trap. Obviously, not going for Anderhall Anomaly means they'll have a little bit less, but there it is in the bush, and that is going to be protecting Hammer here, who starts up her siege.
Now, Deathwing with the Skyfalls coming in, Unaverted getting into position so they can poke at this and delay things out. Abathur is physically slugging into lanes, so they are showing on minimap to the enemy side. They also did, just to note, they did go into the Mule at level 7. That's where you're seeing, while we were up there for a couple seconds, there's some healing going onto that gate, making sure they're sustaining their lane a little bit more, forcing back the enemy team.
Flyest.
That's Flyest on the right-hand side. Legacy is getting a whole lot of damage onto them. They find the kill. Fats is going to be cloning that Zeratul. First kill of this engagement, as we currently have Lucio going for the channel over there. We have Flyest Raven below us splitting the team, and this is looking like Commandeer Odin's coming out, and they're going to continue the fight, Graceville.
Yeah, they're going to try to zone them out, but this whole engagement started because Fly snuck into the bush behind the enemy team, allowing Abathur to clone him there. Oh, power slide on a Flame. Oh, great kill onto Zeratul, just stuck around a little too much. Valimar is going to fly on in, lighting everyone on fire, trying to zone them out, and the Commandeer Odin should be expiring shortly, so he gets hit with the power slide, the solo mosh pit onto Tychus, but they don't have the follow-up there.
Tychus gonna get hit with the Abathur hat as well as the break it down from the Lucio. Bunker comes out on top of that. Valimar and friends are getting pushed back, and no one was able to get this channel just yet. ETC just finishes out the proc rock, which means they're sealing for the friendly team. Carbon gets the dash away. There's gonna be a dive onto this ETC, who's finding themselves a little too far forward into the lane, unaverted, trying to get some damage out with those flame strikes. Meanwhile, Abathur still physically pushing that top lane. I think they actually might be slapping the wave, if I'm not mistaken, as this is gonna be Legacy going for the channel. They do see this on the side of Last Minute Sweep in their vision. Flyest Raven is back, gonna get the Singularity Spike. There's gonna be the Temporal Loop. I don't know what you're gonna do with this one here, Flyest Raven, as there's a whole lot of damage onto them. They get blown up. CPX is able to get out of there, and then Tori trying to find their way out of here, Graysville.
And I don't believe this. I can't believe that Ana has been also sustaining through all of this. I mean, CPX has been on like a quarter of health for the past 2 minutes now, I feel like. Great sleep dart, though, onto that clone Tychus there. Destructible is alive and being annoying, but I think finally maybe Last Minute Sweep decides to back away from this one.
Tychus, do you have quarterback? No, they don't. I was wondering if they went into quarterback to be able to interrupt unaverted, but I don't think they have the range for it. Destructible and friends, they're considering it. No, they get the channel in time. Unfortunately, they don't get the Oil Slick and Flamethrower in time, so that will be 4 shots going into the core of Last Minute Sweep. But I'll be honest, Graves, that fight started around 10 and ended around level 14, 13. That was a insanely long back and forth between those two teams.
Yeah. We'll have to continue to see, though. Like, all of this, I keep saying, is on Flyest. He's trying to make the plays, but he walks in and immediately gets looped again. That's the response they're looking for. They get the sound barrier out in time, but that is the engagement that will be basically the game winner or the game loser all game long. Flyest onto the backline. Can he get a kill? Does he get looped? Because we've seen it every time. When he gets the kill, the team fight goes to Last Minute Sweep. If he gets looped, well, Perfect Gems wins that engagement.
That break it down, though, was so on point coming out from Destructible, just to catch them on the edge of that, keep them alive. And you saw their bar was low, but that buffed them up enough to where they kind of paused the damage coming in as they are looking to feed these sappers in through bottom lane and clear out the ones coming up against them. But they're still far back in the top lane as they are going to be trying their best to push that out. As Deathwing looks like they're doing a little bit of double soak, as Abathur is also doing the same thing with those hats through that mid lane. But right now, they're looking for the... that was a really good face melt coming up from ETC to force back the sappers before they actually got the charge in. And that is also a nice napalm on the ground to keep them to slowly whittle down their health while they're just kind of standing there hitting the ETC. But a double ultra phase here, Graysville. Who wins this one?
Well, watch positioning again. Unaverted is starting here ambushed, and Flyest is in the middle lane. He'll have to rotate down on a power slide, though early onto Carbon, who might be out of position. He will be able to walk away. Destructible keeps him healed up. But watch the Zeratul again. He's getting damage on the top side here, but he gets looped. This is what I'm saying. Oh, the power slide missed, though, and that was the opportunity Perfect Gems was looking for.
Destructible getting harassed once again. There's going to be Chromie throwing in a Dragon's Breath. There was the Skyfall coming out from Deathwing as well. Zeratul looking to maybe go for the channel on the mid kind of upper one here as we are having a double altar phase. Valimar is going to be dropping down from the sky. Zeratul gets the free channel. No interruption onto that. Abathur does have the Evolve Monster, excuse me, not the Evolve Monstrosity, the Ultimate Evolution up and available. Is once again the first time finished up by Chromie, that level 1 for her. That's a whole lot of damage going on to Unaverted. They actually get the blow up onto them, and they have Flyest Raven able to sneak around to the side. They're literally going to get the kill, rotate over, grab the objective, and that's 8 shots. No, the clone! I was just like, wait, how did they get the kill and then get over there and channel and find another kill? Okay, so there was the clone that dove in and finding a second kill right there as they shoot out 8 shots into the side of Perfect Gems, going up and in oh, the dear lord, did Lucio just disappear?
He got looped, then slept and grenaded. He had no outs whatsoever. It's a really nice job picking up that kill, but it's 28 to 24 in terms of the core shots. As you said, this is still close. Perfect Gems need to focus now on getting level 16 for that talent, as the next objective will be a triple.
Wow, Flyest Raven diving in here, trying to open up mid lane. And we talked about, strategical advantages when it comes to Towers of Doom on, taking specific bell towers. Mid lane doesn't have a whole lot of value, but still being able to just have the enemy team down a tower as well as forcing them into a different lane to just clear something or regain control is still an advantage. But Graysville, triple altar phase coming out right now. No bell towers converted over to either side. Bottom lane actually fairly well held over for the members of Perfect Gems, but last minute sweep. Looking to maybe invade onto this camp over here as they do see Carbon and Intori going for the channel, or excuse me, going for the camp itself as they catch D-Rex over here and friends, and they're like, oh, maybe we'll back off, or maybe we'll feign that we're backing off, waiting for our Lucio to come in here, as this will be a fight starting to break out.
Yeah, they're gonna push them off the point for now. Valamar's gonna fly in. He was delayed in his reaction, which means he's just gonna eat the Tychus damage, going down to half health. Nano boost onto CPX, but a big stun going out onto Nintori, who immediately goes into the bunker. Mosh Pit lands on the 2 members. That's gonna be a nice double kill, and Perfect Gems get a triple.
You can't break it down when you're dead, so that's going to be a triple kill in favor for Perfect Gems. Triple altar phase. Look at Abathur. Abathur saying, all right, you know what? We're not giving away. Oh, wait, will Sergeant Hammer be able to get in range? Oh, the tower shots will slow them even further. I don't think, oh, no. They see Sergeant Hammer, and they're just like, you know what? It's not worth it. Bit of a slug. The slug gets chased around right there as they pop the armor. We currently have Ana channeling on the right-hand side. Bottom lane is not happening because they're getting the bell tower. Mule's thrown down there. It gets one little heal, and it's pretty much no value from that, as that will be Nintori backing off. And this is looking like a triple altar phase. 4 shots raining out, but we're looking at 10 right now.
Yeah, this is a pretty big moment for Perfect Gems right now. They can maybe even go for boss. The members of the opponents are respawning now, and yeah, they decide not to go for it. The sappers at the bottom will also be respawning in another minute or so, and that'll be another win condition for them because they have control of that bottom bell tower.
All right. Looking at the rotation just coming into this bottom lane. Okay, so CPX gets the channel. I was waiting. I was like, man, that's a long channel. I was waiting for that to go through, but that will end right there. They're going to try and regain control of this bell tower, and now Abathur needs to make something happen, as that's going to be a temporal loop coming out. Deathwing gets the Cataclysm in. They're looking for one specific kill on to Destructible. Lucio is going to be going down. They lunge forward with the onslaught. Nintori needing to back out, as Carbon is just trying to whittle them down with that minigun, and a little bit of poke coming out from CPX. Nintori taking a bit of damage from them, actually, but Tychus gonna throw out a grenade. Seems like they're gonna be able to hold this over for now, as Abathur's gonna be clearing out top lane, trying to get some value over there, as Flyest Raven's looking to clear out mid.
Yeah, but we see that combo tried and true coming out with that temporal loop, and if they can continue to do that, it's gonna be so difficult for last minute sweep in the end part of this game, because these death timers are starting to add up as we approach level 20, and the next objective coming up is going to be a double. I don't know, last minute sweep, they need to look for picks more often with the Zeratul. And it's, in fact, middle lane, speaking of Zeratul, having some fun here, and they get the kill on Chromie.
And now Deathwing coming in here, and Flyest Raven does have the hat, but they're gonna try and make their way out of here as the onslaught's coming through. They have a lot of abilities to be able to dip and dodge and get out of that. I'm surprised that Flyest Raven's still sticking around right now. This is confusing to me. They do whittle down Valimar quite a bit. Bottom lane bell tower is not really close to being converted over. As
he got him.
Wait.
He went back in.
What kind of burst did we miss? Dear Lord, I was just like, all right, they're gonna disengage us, whatever. Let's look at bottom lane, there might be a fight. Nope, all right, well, they get the bell tower and they're going to be able to get the kill right there as the double altar phase coming out here in favor, I would say, for last minute sweep. They're gonna try and convert this over in the bottom lane to get 10 shots themselves. Flyest Raven coming over here. They're gonna blink. I don't think ETC saw them right there. No, they do. We see, yeah, I'm seeing the assist pings coming through right now, so they do get the sleep dart. Flyest Raven blinks over to the friendly side as they are going to be healing up that with the, oh, actually, Fats is going to, yeah, they're pulling them over to that to that right-hand side, and now Carbon, look at them as well, like, Graysville, they are so set up for this, and that's going to be 10 shots returned into Perfect Gems core, back to 14-14.
And the Mule in the middle lane trying to keep it alive. They got the boost onto CPX, maybe a little bit too late because that Flyest Raven was looped and will be able to escape here, but they'll at least be able to zone them away from their sappers, and this is still anyone's game.
Woo! Twilight Falls. Might in the Nerazim resets cooldown of all basic attacks. We might have been seeing that grabbed. That might have been it right there. We also do have Hive Mind for the Abathur, which I really, really like, and then we have the upgrade on Sound Barrier for this Lucio. So it's just cooldown reduction onto that one, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on.
Tour Bus, I was hoping that was death metal, because that's always a fun surprise. But yeah, it's 14 against 14. Perfect Gems retake the middle bell tower. Valimar is going to help clean up the top one for now. Man, for our NA Maths, Caster Math, they have 4 shots on the boss. The next is a double, which is going to be 8. This is still very, very close. This could be like a 25-minute game, depending on how the next objective ends up going.
It's true. We also have to factor in that there are sappers that can be fed in through bottom lane, and if one team can get all of that and 2 sappers, they've got game number 2. But we'll see who that's going to be. Turbus is a bit surprising. I can agree with that as well. Turbus is, you know, sometimes it's just like, oh, that's a missed mosh. Wait a minute. It's coming towards me. No. I will say this. Abathur actually getting a lot of significant pressure across the map. None of the waves have really crashed into them too often, but here we are with another alter phase. Even health on both sides. Let's see what happens.
Clone coming out. They tried it again. Xerath starting in the top here. They get the clone onto him. He's going to channel the middle lane while the clone... Oh, no, the Skyfall actually interrupted as they do have him up in the air. I think he's also interrupting bottom. This is the power of Deathwing. He gets everywhere. Is D-Rex trying to interrupt? And look at this Deathwing value.
Yeah, Deathwing, I just keep peeking into this top area to see the Skyfall coming out and Zeratul just blinking so they're not taking the damage. But right now, do they have another? They keep getting Zeratul. This bottom lane is still being delayed out. Flyest Raven, is there another one? Dear Lord. All right, so they do get the shots on the side of Perfect Gems. That's going to be a temporal loop coming out. They do have the bunker just in time that time. Valimar coming down and landing on top of them, and now we are seeing a full 5v5. Well, I guess 4v5. Ultimate Evolution is not going to be up for the next 29 seconds for that Abathur. Single alter phase. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, those Chromie Sandblasts are also starting to add up, and they use both Bunker and the Sound Barrier in the last one. They really need to probably call ahead of time which one they want to use, although it's more difficult when you're in the moment. But Clone will be up once again in another 10 seconds, and that'll be another opportunity for Last Minute Sweep to try to make something happen. As Flyest is showing, they're going to power slide though on the top side here, and then Tori Soundbeer barely keeping him alive, but Sergeant Hammer will end up falling Nano onto CPX as well, and Perfect Gems, are they trying to turn things around?
Zeratul coming in here, looking for an angle into CPX. There's a mosh pit coming out onto a couple members, but they're so busy with Flyest Raven as that will be the temporal loop. They do find the Lucio kill that time. Flyest Raven looking for the burst. They end up getting picked off right there. Tyke is trying to throw in as much damage as possible. Does have that big red button from level 20. Nintori going to be using the center channel to be able to get through. D-Rex is going to get the power slide through onto them, and this is being delayed out. The clone is up and available. Or excuse me, no, it's not. It's sorry. It just went down as they actually find the Deathwing kill from Tyke as they're chasing in further. This defense is somehow working out for the members of Perfect, oh my god, dear lord, Last Minute Sweep as Perfect Gems are being forced back, and this is now 10 to 10 in core health. It's going to be traded out during the double bell tower. Yeah, that is wild as we have I mean, you said we might be looking at a 25-minute game, and I think you're right on that one.
I think right there was showing the power of Hive Mind at level 20 and Abathur, be able to shield multiple people. And that big red button, he landed it multiple times onto several members and just chunked through the health bar of the Deathwing. So, man, this is a close game. We are going to be going down to the wire. Sappers, obviously, going to be going directly at buildings, not be able to go all the way through. Boss is 4 shots. Keep that in mind. That could still be a win condition for either of the teams.
I'm looking at this Sergeant Hammer right now, but I'm also watching the minimap. Look at Zeratul. What is Zeratul either going for wave clear? No, they're going for wave clear. Okay, they're just trying to push up that mid lane. Top lane is actually already being pressed into the fort itself. This app, they're getting a lot of value. You can actually see that they're hatting this, and they're burning down. This Deathwing is actually trying to use the Skyfall to clear that out a little bit quicker as Zeratul gets a cleave into mid to clean this out as well. And the late game coming out from Last Minute Sweep is something that they're going to have to constantly deal with inside of Perfect Gems. It's just these waves being pressed in and Deathwing being forced to drop down and have to clear those out rather than being with the core 4 or anything like that. As Zeratul just gets a free fort, actually, excuse me, a free keep in mid lane. Single alter phase, 10 shots remain on both sides. Deathwing actually gonna get blinked into by Flyest Raven. How's this gonna go?
Well, with an Abathur hat, I believe Fly still wins that one. Valimar knows it. He's going to walk away. But top is also low in terms of that keep. So structurally, I think they might even think about going for that. Depending how the positioning happens here as we get ready for this one. This is going to be a big moment for these teams.
Deathwing takes flight. That gives them a lot of opportunities to poke. Look at Flyest Raven setting up in the bush over here. Just not even the bush, just sitting up in the corner. If they don't move, they are unseen. There's no shimmer or anything like that. The only thing that kind of gives them away is, you know, something maybe potentially hitting them. They're cycling between Deathwing as well as Sergeant Hammer on the range. They, as we discussed, they have that hover siege, and they have that also that ambush to get some extra damage in there. Sleep Dart actually connects to the side. Flyest Raven looking for an angle. Let's see if they're able to dive in.
Clone was already used, so that's going to be the Tychus clone there. Flyest hasn't shown yet. He's looking at CPX. He misses, unfortunately. He hits on a direct. There's going to be the clone, though, going after Unaverted. Sound Barrier is going to be used. That will be the clone falling very shortly, which means Perfect Gems can look to restart this fight at a slight opportunity, or advantage for them.
Abathur actually pushing up top lane quite hard. They should be able to convert that back over. Deathwing is using all their Skyfall channels, or I guess charges, to be able to get this interrupt right now, as they are going to be nano boosting over there on the right-hand side. Moshpit comes out. Oh my god, see, dear lord, is this such an insane back and forth. His legacy is getting very low. Flyest Raven has some damage over time onto them. Will be getting picked off right there. That's going to be first kill during this engagement, as we don't have any Abathur clone for the next 44 seconds, but they're going to still try and play this. Commandeer Odin coming out. Let's see if they're able to turn it around.
Valimar flying in, getting some great damage. There's the Sound Barrier from Destructible, directly to the Moss Pit, just onto one member, but the Tour Bus gets the rest of them. CPX with some big damage from the side, and Legacy's gonna throw down the big grenade as well. They get the double kill, and Perfect Gems maybe walking away with this game with those set of kills.
Unfortunately for them, so they did get the mid lane back. Abathur was trying to hat this top lane. It literally has 760 health. They're trying to at least reduce the damage that they're going to be taking here, but Abathur just can't get that wave pushed up fast enough. And they're holding. It looks... They're gonna try and, I think, grab bottom Belter. This might have been a mistake. I mean, you're giving a lot of time to the enemy team to get back. Nintori actually gonna try and channel and steal this away, as the top lane fort does go over, so they're only gonna be dealing... Excuse me. Oh, they get... I was just like, wait, why are we... The bottom lane got converted over as well. So it's not going to be 5 shots. I think that's what they were going for, but top lane got converted over. So Legacy gets the channel right there, and that will be 4 shots going into their core. 6 to 10 in core health, and they're making a boss play.
Yeah, they're going for boss. They were considering whether they should get Sappers bottom first or come up here. I think this is the correct call. Chromie actually ends up dying here on the backside to the Abathur and Zeratul, and that actually is a really important kill for them to get.
They knew that they were on boss. Actually, Abathur had, I think, a mine over here or something like that, and so that's going to be a clone of Zeratul diving in. Nano Boost went on to Chromie. Boss is getting a little bit low. It looks like they might leash it. They keep hitting it here and there. Boss does get leashed. That will be Zeratul going down. They don't get the sound barrier off in time right there, as Valimar's so very low. Destructible is considering to jump in here, and that's a Abathur Lucio kill, and they're going to try and speed boost out of there. Carbon coming in. Let's see if they can find more kills.
Yeah, Unaverted. Oh, they get the power slide onto Nintori, but Unaverted is going to post up once again. Legacy trying to get as many heals as he can. Great job with the stun from Nintori, but look at all this damage onto them. They've got no health bar, and they're in a corner. This is Perfect Gems falling now, and last minute sweep, my goodness, brought things around themselves. And this is all of the team dead, only Chromie surviving, and last minute sweep should be able to retake several of these buildings and maybe even end the game now.
So double altar phase coming out. This is going to be 8 shots currently. They need 1 bell tower to go down, so that way they can get 10 total. It's actually, we will be seeing Deathwing and Chromie, the only 2 up and available for the defense. We have 30-some seconds on average for the last 3 members that just went down in that fight. If they can convert this bell tower over, they're looking at 10 shots total, but Carbon needs to back off. They don't want to take too much stray damage. Abathur actually stepping up into the lane. I think realistically, you go double altar and you rush boss, and you hope that you don't die on boss.
Yeah, they got the Sappers bottom. They could potentially even get Sappers top eventually and have that as another win condition. We do see Valimar on Deathwing being able to stall this out. They just need channel on multiple people. And Destructible, he'll also get interrupted. Only 6 to 6 right now in terms of core. CPX needs to be very careful, because here comes Flyest along. That big burst damage. Chromie goes down.
Mid lane bell tower taken down as well. 6 up on both sides when it comes to core health. Carbon still, I think, getting poked at by that Deathwing. There's, yeah, that Skyfall being such a nuisance. Deathwing will drop down on the right-hand side. And Abathur did take the bottom lane bell tower, so this is actually 6 shots. If they get this bell tower, the members of Last Minute Sweep go up 2-0 in our second best of 5 of the day. That's going to be a nano boost onto the Sergeant Hammer. Fats does have that clone onto Flyest Raven. Flyest Raven looking for an angle to jump onto this enemy team, but they're not. They just don't see it just yet. Clone down for the next 63 seconds. Mosh Pit's up and available. If they can land a Mega Mosh, that'll be huge for them. They just need to be able to do that.
Chromie up in another 30 seconds. There comes the Commandeer Odin with the big red button. They heard the sound, and it looks like Perfect Gems is going to back away, but they do still have to stick around. They cannot afford to lose here. Valimar switching forms, then Tori coming in with a big stun. Lana, 2 members, Mosh Pit going out. The tour bus, but no, the bunker was there. Valimar's going to fly in, and the sound barrier goes out. ETC ends up falling here. Unaverted is low, and last minute Sweep is walking away with this team fight.
Nintari getting a whole lot of damage in. Big red button going out as well. Does get a little extra damage. Flies Raven jumps in once again and gets the kill onto Deathwing. Destructible with the channel. And game number 2 goes over to the side of Last Minute Sweep. GG. Well played. Graysville, what a insanely fun game number 2. But the members of Last Minute Sweep, they want to go to the grand finals. They're like, that game number 1 or that match number 1 was a fluke. We know how to kill Celeb Gaming, and well, they're 1 game away from going up against Celeb Gaming in our grand finals.
Wow,
Clutch.
What an insane game that was. That was so much back and forth. 29 minutes there on Towers of Doom, and honestly, I thought several times that one team or the other was going to walk away, but it was just too close. The problem with the Zeratul Abathur means you can't actually just burst someone at any point, and I don't know if Perfect Gems realized where the positioning was, and people started staggering deaths. But oh man, you would expect that to be like the last game, but we got more games coming up.
48,000. Someone in chat, John Knight, 48k XP spits out drink. And at that exact moment, too, Alicia wins. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, everyone, from Alicia's stream. If someone could shout her out, I'd much appreciate that. I hope you had a wonderful time. Looks like you had an EU-friendly stream once again. Hope you had fun over there. So that was game number 2 and our second best of 5 of the day for everyone coming in. We have one more best of 5 after this one. Thank you, Grace, for shouting her out. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, we were talking in game 1 in the first match of the day. We were talking about how Flyest Raven is a very, very strong Zeratul player. Flyest Raven is a terrifying Zeratul player. Like, the cleave burst damage onto some of these heroes was just disgusting. According to Leon Black, this game actually made him sick to his stomach, though.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the power there, and I'm really, really excited for even more games coming up, but I don't think they should let Zeratul go through anymore. I think we determined that.
Yeah, that might be a good choice for them as we're figuring out our next map here in just a second. We're gonna pull it back to our lovely faces, update some information on our end, and yeah, this is, I gotta be honest, this is it's a strong series for the members of Last Minute Sweep, but I feel like Perfect Gems is so close. Like, that game felt so back and forth. Like, there were just...
Yes.
I honestly didn't know who was going to win it. Like, there was opportunities where I was just like, we're going 1 up in this series. Like, I definitely think Perfect Gems has it, but then Last Minute Sweep coming on in, just kind of living up to their name a little bit.
Yeah, it was so close. Again, let's not count out Perfect Gems. They played excellently, and that last one could have gone either way. I am interested to see, though, where we go for maps, because that map, obviously, we talked about comeback mechanics and how close it can be. Not the case on necessarily many of the others. If you want to go for like a more macro-focused map, teams could be looking for Cursed Hollow. Mentioning Infernal Shrines, if you just want to duke it out. I don't know if we expect any meme comps this time around, but hey, Cho'Gall is a thing, right? That's what I've heard.
I want Cho'Gall to be a thing so much, but apparently the members of Perfect Gems are just like, we don't like fun, so we're gonna ban it out every single game. But no, I like... Infernal Shrines would actually be a really, really good map for game number 3. I think the brawling potential from Perfect Gems is really strong, and if they're able to get a couple comfort picks or just I think that's... They need to 5v5 constantly. I think splitting the team is not a weak point for them, but it definitely was something that was exploited from that Zeratul. Anyone that was isolated became a target for them, and the burst potential became the worrisome threat consistently. We saw right at the end of the game that, Chromie wasn't with a friendly team. Boom, gone. Like, those are the opportunities. But in the other realm, I personally think that when they 5v5, they're a lot stronger. Game 1, Volsky, yeah, it was a full 5v5, but I don't think that's showcasing everything completely. But we'll go ahead and we're gonna find out our map here in just a second. We might have some players running to the bathroom during this time, but overall, I gotta say, some good games today. Graysville, favorite map in Heroes of the Storm? Which one?
Favorite map? Oh gosh, I actually probably would vote for that one. I really like Towers of Doom. I think it's got interesting mechanics to it. The fact that you can, destroy a structure and return it back to your team. The objective is based on those structures amount. I actually really love Towers of Doom.
I like, on a casting standpoint, it's one of my favorites. Playing wise, I do enjoy it quite a bit. I'd have to say, Infernal Shrines, like, even though I cast it, like, it's probably one of the, like, I'd say that's one of the most casted maps on my end. It's just fun. Like, I think the split mechanic, the push pressure, the punishers are always really fun. The 5v5s that you consistently get across the map every roughly 3 minutes is always a really cool aspect. But unfortunately, it's not going to be Infernal Shrines for our next game, as I made the wrong note in the wrong slot. I was just like, wait a minute. Either way, all right. So that's going to be that. That's going to be that, and we're going to load into lobby here in just a second. Thanks for everyone hanging out, supporting the grassroots scene, as we are going to be getting ready for Game 3 in just a second. I do want to point out that there is a prize pool. If you would like to donate towards the prize pool, you can go into the Heroes Lounge website. It's heroeslounge.gg, and there's a drop down in the S Division area, and it will say North American or NA crowdfunding. If you would like to drop a couple dollars towards these players, they'd much appreciate it. Obviously, they're we need to get CPX a t-shirt. Apparently, that's one of the things that chat was saying earlier. So, and I think it might cost a little bit more than what they might win. But anyways, we got a Game 3 in just a second, and I'm super pumped about this one.
Yeah, something to note, and crowd will see it later, but we do actually have a sub coming in mid-series here on the side of Perfect Gems. Interesting. You don't see it that often, but maybe that's the real strat right there. That's the real strat right there.
They're just like, you know what? Last minute sweep. We're gonna last minute sweep you. I mean, it's possible. We actually saw the reverse sweep from Celeb Gaming yesterday. They were down 2 games in our first best of 5 of the day, and then they just won 3 games back to back to back. And I mean, if at least we got 1 reverse sweep, but still, we are going to, dear Lord, just insults immediately coming out.
Yeah, I still like the,
sorry, I'm reading draft chat.
But yeah, the banter going on between these teams, it's a lot of fun. Again, a lot of these players know each other. They do in-houses, they play with and against their own teammates, which is always fun to see. So there's a lot of banter between these teams, and it's fun to watch and listen to.
Well, we'll see if wait, what? They're asking us something, but I have no idea what they're actually asking us.
This is when we let admins do.
Yeah, I'm just IDK ass admin. The literal ref in the lobby. I don't know. That's not my room to judge. I'm just here to yell about the game incorrectly. But either way, something weird happening in our lobby. I don't know what's happening. Anyways, next game for the members of Perfect Gems. I'm trying to think, like, what's their best strategy? Like, they have strong fighting mechanics. I wonder, do they just try and out macro them maybe? Maybe just pushing pressure. Like, the Abathur play really worked out consistently. I mean, as John Knight pointed out, 48k when it came to the experience from the Abathur. So it's just a wee bit right there. So might be the option for them on the side of Perfect Gems, maybe playing a macro game here in game number 3.
I would agree. I think last minute sweep really does well when they are team fighting. Like, they work well when all 5 members or even 4 members are together and they're finding a target and being able to execute. But when that is not happening, like we saw on the Dragonshire series, last series, they kind of struggled. They didn't have the same kind of cohesion, and maybe that's where you go if you are Perfect Gems. Go for that macro focused, force them to respond to the map rather than responding to us.
We'll see if that'll be the case here. We're waiting for one more ready, and then we'll go ahead and get into the next game here. Dear Lord, just the players are just like, oh yeah, like we're waiting for readies. It's just like, so like, where's your other player? Like, why are you subbing all of a sudden? Just like casually, like, apparently Valimar was actually playing on their brother's PC. Their PC unfortunately died before all of this. That sucks. Unfortunate. All right. Either way, we have a sub coming in. We're just waiting for a ready, and we'll get going into game number 3. This sub might swap things around. It is going to be Zugrug. They did play through, I believe, all the games yesterday.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because I think Zugrug was in and D-Rex was out all day yesterday, and Valmar was in for D-Rex. So it's going to be a bit of a different draft, because also I think D-Rex is the main tank player, and Zugrug was their main tank player. So what role are we going to be swapping off to? Unless D-Rex is a little bit more of a flex, or maybe Zugrug is maybe more main tank. But hey, we got a game. Let's push the button and get our intro going.
Well, here we are. It will be on Cursed Hollow is the map choice. So macro focused. I'm wondering if we do see something like a Falstad picked up here. We saw Wingman earlier. CPX on that hero. That could be another option here. We actually have seen some play. Now, this was on Regen side, but we have seen some Illidan play, and this could be an Illidan matchup even.
Ooh.
I know that this team, both of these teams have played it in the past. It is an option, I would say, that maybe you consider.
Abathur's a massive option for them here on Cursed Hollow as well, and that's, yep, there it is. They're like, all right, you know what, Fats, you had a really good game on Abathur on Towers of Doom, which is a strong map for Abathur, but this is a very, very good map for Abathur. You can literally sit in lane while the objective phase is going, push that out, and body soak there, and then be able to soak in another lane or buff out the friendly team. But that's not here. We have an Ana ban as well. Greymane to be removed as well. God, I don't think they Deathwing ban this, but it was a bit of a nuisance that last game. The poke potential from it's annoying. Hanzo, okay, yeah. They're gonna get rid of...
Sylvanas is available, though.
That is true. Do we get a snap onto Sylvanas? Do we get a snap onto Johanna? Like, what's the game plan from Perfect Gems?
I mean, they have a lot of options. I kind of like the Sylvanas pick better. She can get a lot of good value, even if you just, cheese towers on the early game. I think she is just very strong overall. She can provide a lot of team fight potential and siege damage, and I do like that priority from Perfect Gems.
I mean, you have a walking curse value in your favor, being able to lock down structures right there. Unfortunately, not minions, but you can still burst those down as well. Next 2 picks, though, it's going to be ETC, and there's the Falstad, so they're actually going to grab the Falstad for themselves. This is either a denial into CPX, or it's just something that they want themselves. It's a strong hero. I mean, it's Cursed Hollow. Gust potential's huge. You have a double boss, so there's opportunity to use that Gust to steal it from the far side of the wall, then barrel through forward and be able to jump onto it. I've seen a couple Falstads go for that. We were mentioning it earlier, Medivh. Medivh actually is an option here as well if they want to try and play that, but they're going to go ahead and grab themselves a Dahaka and a Li Ming, so they're going to be looking for that reset value, as well as poke potential from Li Ming will be huge.
So we have confirmed Zugrug in the off lane then, looking currently on the Dahaka.
Yep.
But they'll have the additional crowd control with Dahaka as well, so I would expect them to maybe go for something like a Muradin or a Nubrak, which may be something that Last Minute Sweep is currently considering banning. Also, I'm wondering if there's going to be a prioritization of Greymane. Greymane's going to be able to grab camps and provide that burst damage. We do see the Nubrak ban, though, on the side of Last Minute Sweep.
Unfortunately, no Greymane, as Last Minute Sweep got rid of them. Might have to be banned out as well. Stukov's actually up and available. I like Stukov a lot here, especially with an ETC, Power Slide, Mosh Pit potential. You also have the Lurking Arm underneath that. I would lean into a Stukov here. But they've actually had a lot of value with like Lucio. Lucio could pop up here as well. I'm trying to think of Destructibles heroes that I've seen thus far. I think it's been Lucio. I don't know if they played Stukov. There's going to be a Jaina, and do they go for a Rainer with that? No, they're actually going to grab themselves a Deathwing. That's actually a really good pickup because they still need a healer and a main tank, so they have not nothing, but they don't have a whole lot to do with this Deathwing. I mean, there's armor reduction from Sylvanas. That's an option. Muradin to be grabbed. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I said they still needed some kind of CC main tank, and with the Nubrak ban, that seemed like the last option is the Muradin. Not saying it's a bad one, he can definitely be strong here. The Lucio pickup means they'll have some additional annoyance. Legacy likes to play the hero very aggressively. We'll have to see if he does get punished for that, however. Last pick coming up for Last Minute Sweep. Who's the healer? It's Manduin.
That makes, I'm not opposed to this whatsoever. Light Bomb's a really good tool. Power Slide, Light Bomb, Falstad. can actually kind of set things up. You know, you gust them into a corner, light bomb them, mosh pit, ring of frost, water elemental, whatever you want to do. Deathwing's just cooking them as well. Overall, I'm trying to think, like, I'm trying to look at the two teams. I kind of lean into Perfect Gems draft a little bit more here. Honestly, I think the push potential with Sylvanas, the global from Dahaka, the wave clear, the Li Ming poke and reset value, Murden's aggression and base heal or self heal, and then Lucio just able to amp it up consistently. You also have the sound barrier on top of that.
I would agree with that. The only downside is they still have enough damage on the side of Last Minute Sweep to get picks. They can kill a Murden quite easily.
Absolutely, I agree with you on that.
So they need to be playing pretty safely and smartly, I would say, on the side of Perfect Gems. Granted, yes, they can definitely get kills their own, but they need to be, if they're looking for macro focus, make sure they get the camps and then look to do some team fighting.
Well, let's get into it. On the left-hand side, we got the members of Last Minute Sweep up 2 in our second of 3 best of 5s. We've got Nentori on the Anduin. Bit of a roll swap right there. Fat's going to be on the Falstad, Flyst Raven on the ETC. Lots of roll swaps actually happening right here. As Destructible is going to be on the Deathwing, and Carbon on the Jaina.
And on the right-hand side, we've got Perfect Gems, CPX on the Li Ming, D-Rec on Murden. Zugrug's going to be playing the Dahaka. We do have Legacy on the Lucio, and Sylvanas played by Unaverted.
Let's go ahead and get on into mid lane and check out our level 1s, as it is going to be Wingman for that Falstad. We do have the Jaina going for those Fingers of Frost. Murden is going to be grabbing the third win for some extra healing and that higher threshold. I believe it increases it to 60%. Yes. Because I believe baseline it's like 40 or something like that. Yeah, 40%. So you're increasing it by 20.
Force armor from Li Ming as well as CPX to get some damage, along with Unaverted onto Flyst Raven early on. Definitely already up at the top, but the one thing I didn't mention is they do have like double global per se if you've got the Falstad and the Dahaka, so they can definitely side soak pretty well on the side of Last Minute Sweep. So even though, yes, they can team fight, they also can get the macro pressure in themselves.
Also to note, if ETC goes stage dive at 10, you're looking at a triple threat right there, as Deathwing will rotate to top. Zugrug gonna be up here already. Tongue drag into the bush, realizes that there's no one there, and is just gonna back off, because, well, if you're gonna try and tongue drag anyone, Deathwing's not the best one. As Unaverted and Carbon, had a bit of a 1v1, both of them getting very low, but no one going down. Going to be seeing the first objective popping up in the top lane. Typically, you actually see them rotate for the Siege Giants first, then grabbing the Bruiser Camp for mid lane a little bit later, so that way you have that pressure during the objective phase, rather than having the Siege Giants during the objective phase, which are going to be kind of just right next to it, so it's an easier clear for the enemy team. But good camp timings coming out from both teams. As you can actually see, this is the opposite for Perfect Gems. They're going to grab the Bruiser Camp first, then rotate to the Siege Giants. That way they have the Siege Giants during the objective phase, and that's obviously at the furthest point on the map. But Falstad should be able to answer that, as they're going to Hearth back, get full on mana, and get prepared for the first objective phase, which will be up and available in the next minute and 20 seconds.
Yeah, so with that spawning in the top lane, the objective, it will be an advantage for Perfect Gems, because they could have Siege Camp pushing down the opposite lane, which would get more value. Leaving Dahaka and Falstad at the bottoms means they'll both have a global on each side to help defend against that. Level 4s are now here on the side of Last Minute Sweep, and just about to happen for Perfect Gems with the objective announced here shortly. They are just kind of brawling middle lane. It looks like they're underneath these minions. Big power slide. D-Rec gets pushed out of the Blizzard, unfortunately, and will walk away.
Yeah, there was a Chastise that came out from Nentori as well. That was really well played. Power slide into Chastise, and then you had Carbon throwing quite a bit of damage out with that Blizzard. Falstad going to steal the vision. Unaverted coming over here as well. They're going to turn around onto them. They're actually going to try and get the Banshees, but Fats actually waits a couple seconds. Lightning Rod, they need one more auto, but they end up turning around saying, you know, it's not worth it because I'm going too far away from my friendly team. Zugrug does get the Burst Stalk down here. Leap of Faith to save Fats, but they have no barrel rolls. They use it to save. ETC is going to use the Face Melt. Oh my god, Jaina dropping snow on so many members as Zugrug tries to look for a tongue drag here.
Wow. I mean, all of this brawling early on, and then the objective just spawning now. So this is the aggression both of these teams. You know, this is a preview, I would say, of what we might expect later on. When Heroics come online, things could get pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, and I mean, we're in game 3 here. We're in the semifinals losers bracket. So if Perfect Gems loses here, there's no other bracket for them to go into. They're out. They're done, and that's their run. They'll take 3rd place, but this is gonna be power slide from the ETC, looking for an angle to keep D-Rex here. They're not gonna be able to. They get the Dwarf Toss over the wall. 3rd win kicking in right there, and this is looking like it's just gonna be a little bit of a back and forth as Nentori almost gets the channel, but Sylvanas will be interrupting that for now.
The Hawk is still at the bottom, continuing to soak for the team. Falstan's on the way to this objective, though, trying to force the issue. We see the danger pings. They know Fly's on ETC, but he's going to power slide back through. And Tori interrupted from that haunting wave by Unaverted, and looks like the two globals are actually back middle lane.
CPX and Carbon are just kind of, just poking at each other. Notori gets the channel just in time as the Shatter Dagger was thrown out by the Sylvanas right there. Gonna just get a little bit of healing out right there, mostly onto Notori. You can't really heal a Deathwing. Technically, as Not Paradox and I have talked about in CCL, there's one hero in Heroes of the Storm that can technically heal Deathwing, and as Alexstrasza, if she takes the talent at level 1, when she finishes out the 25 regeneration globes, she spawns a regeneration globe on her healing circle, and regeneration globes are the only thing besides the well that Deathwing can grab to heal up. So you can either grab a regeneration globe, grab the well, or fly into the sky. Hall of Storms does nothing for you. So I always thought that was a little fun fact. Like, technically, Alexstrasza is the only hero that can heal Deathwing, with a little kind of an asterisk next to that one. But second objective about to pop up. Carbon actually going to be grabbing these Siege Giants a little bit later. This will actually push in the top lane. Deathwing might be able to make something happen with that. We should be getting the announcement for number 2 in just a second here, as Siege Giants were pushing through bottom lane for the members of Perfect Gems.
We do have Seeker from Li Ming at level 7 as well, not going for Calamity, so they're going to be able to try to poke and maybe burst opponents down from a distance. And also, full Lightning Rod build from Falstad, going for the Static Shield and the Charged Up at level 7. So, interesting build so far. We'll have to see what happens at level 10 when Heroics come around. We're going to see anything fun and exciting there.
Alrighty, we do have a bit of a damage coming out from Carbon. The blizzards, like, Perfect Gems keep stacking up on top of each other. Like, everyone's grouping up, and Carbon's just like, cool, that's free damage. I mean, we're 5 minutes into this game, and they have 7k in their 7.7k in their frostbite damage. Looks like they're gonna just give this over. They don't. Oh, okay, there it is. I was like, Deathwing has Skyfall. Where's Deathwing? He's not on the map. He has to be dropping these down. Unaverted and a Legacy will be stalled out right there. This is looking like it might be enough time. Dahaka's gonna neander their way back up here. Nintori gonna get a chastise. They're chasing onto them. Carbon's gonna throw out some damage as well. They get Deathwing to land on top of them. That's gonna be Anduin, the first one to go down. CPX on the left-hand side will be getting picked off a trade right there. Legacy so very low. Banshees get them away right there. Below us, as Zugrug is in a bit of an awkward spot all by themselves. No power slide from the ETC. Gonna get a tongue drag onto them as they're looking to re-engage onto this Graysville.
Yeah, but the Blizzard should zone them off. Fly's Raven power sliding through. Indestructible is going to lay down the fire as well, meaning they're going to try to zone them out, but they still get the kill onto ETC despite all of that, and Legacy will be able to boost them on out. Perfect Gems gets the kill and survives.
Very well played by them, trading out in that aspect, as this will be the Siege Giants in top lane pushing in. Actually, well, no, it was a trade out for Anduin and Li Ming, but then they did get the extra kill into ETC. I was looking at that bar wrong. 2-0 in objectives, or I guess objective points, in favor for last minute sweep. If they get this next one, they get the curse, and we'll see what value they bring with that. Ooh, Siege Giants actually have to be left in top lane. That's a bit of a rough go. They're gonna lose that fort, and that's a big pickup for the members of last minute sweep, as they'll be getting periodic catapult pressure up in that top lane. And now, Heroics through. Nothing too out of the ordinary, though.
Yeah, seemingly pretty standard. Power slide from Fly's Raven. He does have Mosh, but keep that in mind. Unaverted very aggressively forward. Fats is going to try to look at him. There's the light bomb up from Notori. Had to use that himself. Zugrug is on him. He hits him with the isolation, but power slide from Fly's Raven gets the kill onto Sylvanas. Carbon is low. Legacy's going to go for it, but no! Fly's get the mosh pit on it too. Carbon gets the kill onto Legacy. Great job there from last minute sweep, and they get the curse.
Curse is through. Dahaka goes down to the Deathwing on the left-hand side. That is a huge pickup for last minute sweep. Getting 3 kills as the objective phase starts. Falstad flies into top lane as the Siege Giants were killed off. There's a camp that was grabbed for mid lane as it's just now collapsing here. Deathwing gonna get a quick kill into that mid lane, and this is bottom lane. Actually, a fight still breaking out down here. D-Rex did have to pop the avatar form. Carbon trying to get a little poke onto them. I'll be honest, that mosh pit from Flyest Raven is the MVP play of this series, in my opinion, because that mosh pit saved Carbon. They turn around, they get the Lucio kill, and they also get themselves a curse. Top lane fort goes down. Mid lane fort goes down. They're trying to make a play for bottom lane, but it doesn't seem like they're letting that happen on the side of Perfect Gems.
Yeah, these are really great plays from last minute sweep. Flyest going in onto D-Rec again. Unfortunately, not getting that connected with the Chastisize, but That means Ford at the top, Ford in the middle, likely Ford at bottom. This could be a boss play shortly after. As Darkdub's going to fly in behind enemy lines here, as CPX going to have to jump up the wall on the opposite side here. Power slide with the light on top, and Lucy goes down, and they're going to get the kill onto Li Ming. Oh man, that's an easy triple, and maybe able to get Zugrug as well.
Zugrug going to be coming in here. A whole lot of value coming in onto them for the adaptation, I believe that they went isolation, right? I always screw those two up. I know because there's like green and then like blue. Oh, okay, it's isolation. I saw a whole lot of like healing over time. They must have just popped their essence and was trying to get as much value from that. But now with that, that's a triple fort phase during a boss, or excuse me, during a curse. And now they call for boss. This is going to be an easy boss for bottom. The question I have to you, Graysville, do you rotate and try and take boss for just to get that pressure into top lane as well?
I think so. I don't know if they have an opportunity to get a keep even this early on. The boss isn't all that strong, but they can definitely rotate up there. And because they have a tool like Mighty Gust, they can even steal their opponents if they were on it already. So I think this is the correct call, rotating up.
495 in auto currently from this boss as it's going to be walking its way down this bottom lane. Dehaka did finish out the tissue regeneration from level 1, so I believe that just increases their essence. Yeah, it's regeneration by essence. Okay, so this is going to be the double boss play. They see the enemy team in bottom lane. We can actually jump onto the vision for our blue team. So they're counting 1, 2, 3 in bottom. Deathwing is down there as well, making sure that these siege giants don't push out any further. They've got Falstead with Gust, so they're not too worried about this. Looks like CPX is going to throw a combo in there. They know they're over here. Zugrug and CPX, they can't 2v4 this. They know it, and they're going to back off. Falstead barrel rolls forward to just pick up more stacks. Speaking of Falstead, currently sitting at 25 lightning rod bonus damage and 8 stacks on those minions for the wingman. But right now they got siege giants and a boss. They're pushing on in through top lane.
Felstead also going for Thunder Strikes at level 13. So this is the full lightning rod build.
Yeah.
But this could be a keep going down as Flyest Raven power slid through, but took a lot of damage. They got a great tongue and the isolation onto Falstead rather than Wailing Arrow silence. Really nice kill means they might be stopping the bleeding a little bit. This boss does need to get dealt with, though. They're trying to zone them off. Destructible walks forward, but takes some damage in return, and boss should get cleaned up. Really nice defense there from Perfect Gems.
Yeah, keeping their core safe and even their keep safe was a big win for them right there. For anyone that is wondering in chat, I did see that there was a question. The Grand Finals is a best of 5 unweighted, so there is no advantage to that. If you would like to give Heroes Launch feedback on that, you should join their Discord and talk to them about it. I'd be cool with a weighted 7. I don't know about you, Graysville.
I mean, more games, more fun, right?
That's my angle of it as well. I mean, I'd do an unweighted best of 7, but I mean, if you're gonna do a best of 7, you got to do it weighted at that point.
Yeah.
Either way, that's gonna also be Jaina with the Mana Addict at level. Excuse me, Fingers of Frost at level 1 being finished out by her. 17 out of the 20 stacks on the ETC. She also does the Jaina has the Frostbite done. 12 stacks out of the 25 for the Stormbolt for the Muradin, and no other questing talent to really update anyone on, but 16 to 14 in levels, and we have another curse point coming up. This could be in favor for the members of Last Minute Sweep as they still have a solid 2-level lead.
Solid 2-level lead, Tribute spawning, and they'll be walking in the middle lane with this Bruiser camp, and honestly, they could stick around and just leave one member back to grab it and grab some towers in the middle, but they decide to walk away as a team. And as I say, they're going to stick around. I think they want to try to get these towers on the keep in the middle, just more structural damage, setting up more of a win condition later on.
Absolutely. I mean, they know that Falstad can grab this without contest. I mean, well, maybe with some contest. I don't think they saw Dehaka in top lane right there. Either way, there's going to be an Earth Shatter coming out from Destructible. Gonna just slow them down from really getting out of this lane, but they also do slow down the enemy side from pushing into this, as Falstad did get the channel. Fats is looking to maybe jump onto Zugrug, gets a little bit of damage. There's that extended range from the Lightning Rod. I believe that was, wasn't that level 13? No, it's just, that's 4s. Nope. It's gonna be 7. Charged up.
The range is the 7, yep.
Yeah, I honestly, I typically only take Static Shield, and I usually go Boomerang at 4 or at 7 to be able to get the faster wave clear, but I mean, hey, you have extra range and increased charges as Power Slide comes through. That's a Dwarf Toss from D-Rex, and I think they're able to get out of there.
Yeah, but just barely. But that's what I said in the draft. You can still kill a Muradin. He had to use Avatar to survive. Otherwise, he's dead. In fact, with Avatar expiring, Flyest wants it again. Big blizzard once again from Jaina. Carbon gets hit with the light bomb. The Fats is low. He's going to use the Mighty Gust, the zoning mosh pit there from Flyest Raven. And it looks like the health bars are low on both sides. They get the kill onto the Haka, though. Can they continue this team fight?
Unaverted looking to get in this backline. D-Rex is going to Dwarf Toss out. They're chasing further into this. They want to find more kills. They're looking for more blood. Curse is up and available in the next 17 seconds, and if they can get this, they will curse the enemy team for a second time in a row. Banshee is a short distance to get away from this enemy team, and Fats and friends have found a way to push them back. Looks like they should be able to send one back to grab this, but they're not giving this over easily. Dahaka respawns in 20 seconds, and they should have Brush Stock up and available. Let me double check that really quickly. Does not show because they're dead, so I can't click on them. But either way, we'll see what happens here, as this is going to be an invade on to the objective.
Flyest getting very aggressive with the power slides and may pay with his life here. Fortunately, CPX not connecting with the orb, but over the wall, Lucio gets the, or Fats gets the kill onto Lucio. CPX trying to secure something with that wave of force. Chastise, oh, there it is.
Deathwing.
And now Destructible flies in, in the backline, but CPX is low. That water elemental zoning him up, and the Deathwing flies in, and it looks like they're gonna clean things up here. Last minute sweep, grabbing a triple.
That's going to be a huge win for them. Once again, before an objective phase, they get a triple kill. This is exactly how the last one went, and now the death timers are increased. It's going to be only 9 seconds for that Lucio as they went down earlier, but the Muradin and these Li Ming are about a second off from each other, around 20-some seconds. We do have top lane with a massive wave, and there's no structure damage coming out. Dahaka needs to get up here quickly. These catapults are hitting for roughly 228 to 266, and they're shredding through this keep, but meanwhile, in bottom lane, Graysville, they're looking to open this up, and last minute sweep could not walk. Well, I guess they could look to end game here. Well, no.
I mean, the safer play for them right now is going to get the keep, grab level 20, grab boss, and get their win there, because that's the easiest one for them, and I think Perfect Gems knows it. In fact, Carbon might be caught up. Great tongue there from Zugrog. They get the kill, and that might be enough to actually stop them from winning right here.
Anduin does have the speed boost, but they're speed boosting on Lucio. Gust is up and available for Falstad. If they do try and chase into this, Deathwing is going to be sitting in the bush over there. Oh, they take off just in time as Zugrog was coming through. But wow, 20 talent here about to be around the corner. We have catapults on core currently, but they do get that kill onto Jaina, and they're going to try and take a boss here. But look at Fats and friends. They're looking for that angle. I think they're going to try and make a Gust steal happen here. Hammering goes in to check the health. Deathwing coming in with the flight. Let's see what happens here, Graysville.
Well, they're going to try to zone them off for now. You see Flyest on the top side here. He does have Mosh Pit available, but he's going to get chunked there. Sound Barrier is going to go out. The Wailing Arrow connects on the bottom side here. Destructible is going to be the only one left on the point. Means Deathwing will likely die here. He doesn't have a Bellowing Roar to keep anyone off, and that will be the Mighty Gust. Going to use Fats, goes in, but the Wind Tunnel can't keep everyone off. No, I can't believe it. He's oh my goodness.
The wind tunnel didn't actually keep them off. Catapult and such will be in top lane pushing on up, so they're gonna have to manage all of that. You can see quite a few members are hearthing back, but a boss attempt with wind tunnel as well. I actually didn't even catch they had wind tunnel. I was like, all right, one gust, whatever. The light bomb onto Falstad too is a really cool adaptation, or at least addition to all of that. Anduin is holding their level 20, and I'm curious as to why. I wonder if they're waiting for something on the opposing side before they maybe even go into Glyph of Faith, or if they go into Varian's Legacy. We'll have to see as that does come through, but bottom lane fort, I believe, is going to be saved here. They will be still having a sliver of health on it, 1,157, but now a boss play in top right, and they can't steal this one away as Falstad and Falstad and Deathwing are going to be dead. Meanwhile, in bottom lane.
All right. Yeah, the catapults at this stage in the game do quite a bit of damage, so they're going to send Unaverted back to get some XP and possess that one. Really nice job there. But the boss at the top was picked up. It likely will get maybe the fort at most. And because we're back to 0-0 in terms of Trib, this is still basically coming down to a team fight deciding this. The thing is, if Perfect Gems win a team fight, they still get a keep, but maybe not game. Whereas last minute sweep, they definitely win if they win a team fight.
Oh, it's a risky spot to be in, but it's here's the storm. It's anyone's game still, as the top lane boss will be left to be cleared out. They're re-engaging into mid. I think they might be looking for a fight. Anduin did go into Desperate Prayer at level 20 in the end. Nothing really too out of the ordinary when I'm looking through some of these talents. And oh, tongue drag from Zugrug, just casually just like sneaking to the back line as a bit of a split fight is starting to pop off. Zugrug is gonna burrow down and get that essence off, but now Deathwing is casually like 1v4ing in a sense.
Zugrug just used all of his defensive capabilities, and the Sombra went up, but still wasn't enough to keep him alive. CPX connects, but doesn't get the kill onto Flyest Raven, and now it looks like Perfect Gem's gonna have to walk away from this one unless they get the kill onto Destructible, but Fats is flying in onto CPX.
CPX is very low. The Lightning Rod sustain damage is too much. We do have the Sylvanas getting picked up as well. D-Rex is the only one left and available. Deathwing, I believe, took flight. You're seeing all those meteors being dropped onto them. Avatar form, there's the rewind. Falstead tries to go for the flight ahead, and Muradin says, Stormbolt to the face, boy. But the enemy team is wiped, and ladies and gentlemen, in 3 games, the members of Last Minute Sweep return to the grand finals to go up against Celeb Gaming and our final best of 5 of the day. GG. Well played. I didn't think this was going to be 3 games, Graysville. But these teams today, they're looking to speed run day number 3 of our S Division finals.
Really nice job there. Last minute sweep, pulling out the win. They'll go on, face Celeb Gaming once again.